Bum 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 bum. Let's go live. Let's go live on the old YouTube today. Morning, guys. Morning. Little sound check. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Can you guys hear me? All right. Are we good? Yeah. I know Irene inside of Discord, but I'm talking about YouTube. YouTube, are you guys all right? Can you hear me? All right. Hello. Live your life, yes. Rambo in the house. What's up, Rambo? Let's cook. Let's cook. We're gonna get 20,000 this week, or we're gonna get 20,000 this week? What are we saying? I'm all for 20,000. We're going for it. And don't hate on the reggae. This is generic reggae we're having to listen to. This is what it is. It's not too bad so far. It's not too soon. It's not too bad. Right. Who took the inside of Red Pill? Who took the long this morning? As written inside the daily plan, which is inside Discord, which you all should have read. Here we go. Who's managed to find a trade this morning? So I'm just waiting for the open now. I took my trade this morning during London. So this was my trade this morning in alignment with the daily plan. Wait, there she is. There she is. So who wants to explain why did I look at this higher time frame X level? Why was that higher time frame X level of interest this morning? Anybody? You do not want to be short, my trader journey, whoever that is. You do not want to be short today, rather. I promise you. Obi out the back end, yes sir, Rabo. Of back end of what? Sir. Let's do a little 3 drives lesson. Let's do a little session on the old 3 drives. You do not want to be short today. Three drives, amen. Okay. So this is my 3 drives model is on YouTube. Completely free for anybody to utilize. Alright, so if you read my daily plan this morning, just dig out the daily plan. Where are you? Here you are. Okay, so here's my daily plan this morning. So 20,000 still the draw. This is by utilizing X levels. We can go through that in a minute. During the overnight session, we formed 3 drives. This is now my new line in the sand. It must hold for higher prices leading into CPI this week. Alright, so we have CPI this week, which is where I'm anticipating 20,000 to go and get ran. So today is for base hits because it's a Monday with no news, but my weekly objective remains at 20,000 as long as we hold this hidden OB. Okay. So our entries this morning that we were looking for was fair value on the 15-minute dealing range, and I'll explain why in a minute. If it broke that, the final straw was the OB out the back end. So this is all written inside the daily plans, which is free for anybody, which is what we've essentially been trading this morning inside of our pillage, right? Red pill. So shift that back over here. Okay, so that's the daily plan. So all I do is trade in alignment with my daily plan, take my trade, move on. If I'm wrong, I move to the sidelines, reanalyze, yada yada. Okay, so this low, which put in this high, is our 15-minute dealing range, eh? And we were talking about on Friday that this 15-minute wick had to hold. Now, people inside Red Pill will know why that wick had to hold. Primarily because it's my 3 wickos, right in here. So you basically long the wick, and there's the supporting context for that. Is it was the first 5-minute order block, first 5-minute fair value gap after a sell side purge. So the sell side of a market maker buy model. Okay, so we're going to go down, and we're going to do an SMR, and then we're going to go whoop. All right, so the first 5-minute for the good, right after the sell side purge. So inside of here had to hold for higher prices. Okay. So on Friday we were looking at this wick. Now I know AP, if AP's here, is AP in the house this morning? Is AP in the house this morning? Don't think so. I know AP took this trade this morning. I actually on Friday, so I shorted this on this particular day. But this wick had to hold inside that 5-minute BISI for higher prices. Well, it's gone and done that, right? It's gone and done that. Exactly what we wanted it to do. It went and did, right? We were also inside S&T tag, but that's something different. So this morning we've gapped up, but we've gapped up with my 3 drives inside of it. Okay, so a 3 drives. Okay, a 3 drives is a institutional buy. So it's the market tipping its hat to you that the smart money is buying. Okay, so what sets up a high probability 3 drives? Does anybody know? Anyone know what sets up a high probability 3 drives? What sets up a high probability 3 drives? Order block, high time frame order block or rejection block. Amen. Right. So high time frame order block. Yes, we're deep inside of it, and we've got the gap just below, but we're inside this high time frame order block, this big ass order block that we got on the hourly. Okay. Then we have the rejection block, and this is what we form inside of a discount of the X level dealing range on the 15. So this is our higher time frame dealing range. We go out another dealing range. This would be our hourly. Okay, so we're in a fat premium on the hourly, and I mean fat. We couldn't be more in a premium, which is why we're just chopping around. Okay, but a short-term discount still inside of a higher time frame discount, right? I know this is confusing, especially if people don't know X levels. So any time frame 15 and above is classified as a higher time frame dealing range. Okay, so a 15-minute, albeit it's the lowest of them, it is still a higher time frame dealing range. So you're looking to frame your entries at higher time frame X levels in alignment with your models and schematics, everything else I teach, right? So this was in a discount of the 15-minute, albeit in a monstrous premium on the hourly X levels. Okay, so 21%. All right. There's context why you would go out the hourly, especially if price is hella bullish. I am hella bullish, okay, for reasons I'm about to mention. So a 3 drives is, as I mentioned, the market tipping its hat to you, that it's institutional buys, right? And a 3 drives is where you have drive 1, and they have to be, I hate the word trend lined, but they have to be in a trend. Into your high time frame order block or rejection block. Okay, now what I uncovered, what I've developed, and what is specifically mine about this model is that the middle down close candle, the lowest down close candle on drive 2, is a hidden order block. Okay, the most volatile area of an order block is the wick, okay, which is exactly what price dipped into during the overnight through Asia. So if you're trading a 3 drives, okay, you're entering off that order block. If you're trading the actual 3 drives, if you're going to trade a secondary, which is what price will always do with a 3 drives, it will always come back to it, because essentially what it is going to do, it's going to offset accumulate. So it's going to offset all those on the right side of the move. It's going to accumulate their stops, and then it's going to pump price higher. All right, it happens all the time with a 3 drives model. Okay, so what you're looking for is the order block out the back end of the 3 drives. Okay, so this is your 3 drives. This is your hidden OB, your hidden order block. That is what price is respected. This is your order block out the back end. Okay, so this now becomes your propulsion block. Right, so in terms of X levels, I want to enter at a higher time frame X level in an alignment with a PD array, in alignment with my models, alignment with everything else, okay? So I'm always framing entries around X levels, okay? So fair value is an opportunity for the market to step in and go buy, 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 right? Higher time frame X level, out from a higher time frame discount, 3 drives. Okay, so my entry this morning, if I just pull this back, right in on that hidden order block out the back end, this propulsion block. Okay, and then just scaling out en route to target. Okay, wait, off she goes. Okay, so my objectives are to come and take out this high, and the reason for that is mechanical TS, another one of my models, which is freely available on YouTube. So we have this high time frame sweep on ES and Q on the hourly, and then you're going to measure out your 5, and then you're going to go out measure out your standard divs. So for me, my low hanging fruit objective today, I want to get up to 19,271. That's low hanging fruit objective. Today, or this week I should say rather, I'm looking to get up to 20,000. Okay, so going into the open, what we need to be mindful of is what is ES done to date, because I'm still open for them to shake out, retail, and then drive market higher. So what I'd like to see at the open is a move like this, okay? So if we look at ES, just flip-flop across the ES quickly. ES has got exactly the same. There's 3 drives out the low. It didn't need to sweep this low, so this was a weak low from earlier, right? A weak low is where price doesn't get back down to 50% of a range. So this is a weak low. So NQ swept that weak low, ES didn't need to. However, down here at midnight open, we have a void. I think it's on the 1 minute. Yeah, so I'd like to see this cleaned up before price moves higher. So I'm anticipating a shakeout at the open. I'd like to see one more sweep lower. So what could happen is that we decouple at the open. So at the moment, if I'm going to trade again today, I want to see price shake people out, offset, accumulate, back down into this 3 drives on the low. So I can't remember who asked me this morning. I think it was Mr. Trader Journey. Is there an H1 to M5 on the high? Now, I personally wouldn't trade the H1 to M5 on the high. And the reason being is that I'm always trading in alignment with the 3 drives. Never trade against it. It's a mass accumulation of long positions. So all you want to do is get in sync with it and be proved wrong. All right, it's far better trying to getting in sync with the 3 drives, which is what our trade was this morning, than it is to constantly try and short against the 3 drives. You're just going to get slammed because price is just going to rip through the highs, okay? Because it's a mass accumulation of longs. All right, so just don't do it. Just wait for price to offset, accumulate, get in sync with it, drive price higher. If it breaks and violates this 3 drives, my whole bias for the day and potentially the week goes out the window. And at that point, I reanalyze and I just wait for price to set up a new opportunity. So I always trade in alignment with a 3 drives until proven wrong. What that does is it creates your line in the sand. It's like, well, if price breaks through this level, I'm wrong. I can deal with that. I can deal with being wrong because funny enough, you take losing trades in trading, right? I can be wrong. I can be content with that. What I don't want to do is know that I've got a 3 drives on the low, which I know is a mass accumulation of long positions, and then constantly try and short back through it. I mean, that is like a dodo just walking off a cliff edge, right? You're just going to follow every other retail Larry you know, as you just fall off the edge of a cliff. It's not what you want to do, okay? So you want to trade in alignment with it. So for those inside a red pill, if you're still holding runners, just hold goddamn runners, right? So your first target would be what is 1x 271. Your second is obviously going to be up at 2x, which is all the way up here, which is up at 19432. These would be my objectives on the highs today. All right. Ultimately, I'm looking. This is my long-term dog, my weekly dog. That's my weekly objective, right? And there's reasons for that in terms of utilizing X levels and how you can do that. And it's all about where price distributed out of previous weeks utilizing X levels. So I'm anticipating 20,000 to be revisited this week. Okay, but this 3 drives on the low for me has to hold. All right. So what I'd like to see is one more sweep lower and potentially take a H1 to M5 on the low. And so I think it was my trader Journey asked me if I wanted to short the high. I don't want to short the high. I'd prefer to wait for price to get back down and sweep out this low. Right, allow ES to come and take out that void and look back inside of this fair value gap. And the reason why is this will be an H1 to M5 model, right, on the low. Okay, so you got this higher time frame sweep. Okay, price closes back above sell side, and then you're going to look for your inefficiently delivered range on the 5 minute, which is what we have. Right, it's inefficiently delivered. Let's get rid of that shit. Take that back. It's not inefficiently delivered. It has gone back to 50% already. But what I'd like to see is if it does get back down here into this 5 minute BISI, so an inefficiently delivered range, just for clarity, is when price doesn't get back into 50%. Did that get into 50% there? Or am I losing my shit? I think I need my bins on again. Oh, specs on. Okay, so it's not inefficiently delivered. So it is still a weak low. So this low here is a weak low as it never got back into 50% of that range on the 5 minute. Okay, so what I'd like to see at the open is for us to offset once more back into this BISI to then drive price higher again. If it just rips from here, this is where I just want to be still holding runners. If I'm not in runners, I just deal with it. I'm not going to chase price out of a premium on the 15, premium on the hourly, premium on the daily, premium on the weekly. I'm just not going to do that, right? So I have to have a short-term discount in order for me to trade long, okay? So this is now premium across the board. All right, now the principles of X levels is that you want to be entering inside of a higher time frame discount. Now, as I've just alluded to, a higher time frame is anything 15 and above. Well, on the 15, we're now in a premium. On the hourly, we're in a premium. Daily, we're in a premium. Like if you look at this, daily X level dealing range from this high to this low, we're inside of a premium. All right, 60 is essentially what we've gone off this morning. Okay, so all on the weekly as well, we're also in a premium. So everything we're in a premium. When it's like that, there is no trade. I have to wait for price to come back into some form of a discount for me to then trade long. All right. So if it just rips from here, which could happen, there's going to be no trade for me. It's as simple as that. There's no secondary trades. It's just the trade from this morning, just trading in line with the daily plan, right? Which was this entry on the low. So I basically terminated back inside this 5 minute CIBI, anticipating essentially this move, but I wanted this to happen at the open in order for me to recoup more longs. And we've gone up and taken this flat top on the high on the 1 minute. Alright, so these, if you ever see a flat top, these will often get revisited when you've got the supporting context for it. Which is what price went and did on that drive this morning. So if it doesn't give us another pullback, it's just one where you're just going to have to eat it up, learn. It's okay, it's completely alright, there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, I had no interest in going back down to that low, did it? So we've got a double, essentially we've got a triple divergence up on the hourly, up on this high. So this high is just hella sus, right? So the high, this is the high I wanted to drive for today, right? And ultimately that high beyond it. Which is 1x and 2x on your MAC TS. But I'd have to have one more sweep. I'm not in this long. I'm already out. It'd be kind of frustrating if it goes from here, but I didn't have any lounge to slaughter left. Didn't have enough contracts left. So that's where I terminated this morning. 19,159.50. All the way up here. So that's my trade this morning. One more sweep to allow ES to come and pick up this void to then trade long. So again, the same principle though. Like if this decides to go on a bit of a pamp at the open, the same thing for me. I'd still want to remain patient and wait for an entry back inside that 3 drives, versus trying to short against it. Like if it just goes, I'm not chasing a short. I have absolutely no interest in shorts today. 0. In fact, -%. A -% interest in shorting. Do not short against the 3 drives. Anyone got any questions about that? Si, senor. Oh, yeah, AP's in the house. Yeah, I was just talking about your trade on Friday, AP. The 3 Wiccos on the low. I personally went short, but I think you went long on Friday. I was already gone by then, but I think you took it. It's good to see. Beastie trade that. Really nice. So this morning had multiple opportunities. The reason why what you're probably wondering what this is. Well, this was this morning. Okay, so if we break down this PA this morning, we can do that because I'm not doing anything until the open. Yeah, sure. Okay, so it's utilizing X levels. Let me just get rid of this. Okay, now I'm gonna have to rewind this to here. Okay. So this was our previous weekly dealing range using the X levels, right? This is the market structure which I developed. When price goes out of 38, okay, this is a sign of immense weakness. So this is the weekly DR, okay? So when it goes out of 38, that's a sign of immense weakness. Now, what you can do is you can short. You can short in here. So 21 and 12. Okay, that's where you short. Okay, so if I just roll this on, and this is a daily time frame, by the way, but you can use this on any time frame. Okay. Oh no, I'm gonna have to go. If I just move this onto here, you'll see what happens. Why is that doing that? That's retarded. Let me just 10x this thing. Why is that unbelievable? Why is that doing that? That's ridiculous. Anyway, let me just get rid of it. Absolutely hate bar replay. But you can see here, so this was what I just marked out. So this was the previous weekly DR going out of that 21%. Okay, so if you're short and you're anticipating extreme weakness, and this is a sign of that, price going out of the previous weekly DR 38%, you can short 21 and 12. Okay, what will happen is price will revisit that high. That becomes your dole, right? So when price fulfills its objectives on the low, okay, which is what it did right here, and what the objective that was on this low was a NASDAQ divergence. Okay, this is something else which I teach, not something I'm prepared to go through on what's it, shots, YouTube right now. Where is my Here it is. Okay, so we had a Nasdaq divergence on this low essentially. Okay, so this is where they'd all taken out this low bar the futures contract. So essentially NQ came down, keyed out that low, fulfilled its objective. Okay, so once it's fulfilled its objective on the low, it will go and revisit that high, right? In the context of X levels. So this high for me is going to go. It's like there's no ifs, no buts, no maybes for me. It will go, right? So then that's just purely utilizing the principles of X levels. So if you ask, how did I arrive at that? Well, that is my my reasoning. Now, that on its own is not enough. You then need the supporting context in the market structure to do that, okay? And so now we've got a mass accumulation of longs, okay, that formed in the overnight on the low to utilize that to drive up towards those highs. We've also got CPI on Wednesday, which I'd imagine they would utilize to complete the job. Or they do it today on the 3 drives, who knows? But on a Monday with no news, I personally wouldn't anticipate it to go and clear out all those highs. Probably be waiting for Wednesday for that, but we'll have to just wait and see. But yeah, that's my reasons why, dude. Okay, that's my reasons why. Does that make sense? Do you understand that? But yeah, just purely using the principles of X levels. Hello, Squid. How you doing, mate? Interesting. Hey, you're welcome. You wait till you see that. You wait till you actually learn how to use X levels. Oh, yeah, it's too easy. It's too easy, son. I mean, if you're just looking at, you know, even if you wanted to short 12, which is a deep ass premium, right? I personally don't want to be short because of the 3 drives. I just don't want to be short. You know, this is price essentially rejecting 12% on the 15-minute, which is a deep premium. So essentially we're in a massive premium on the hourly. So we're beyond 12% now on the hourly, which is a massive premium, deep premium. We're in going off a premium on the daily and the weekly. And we are now in a deep premium on the 15-minute, which is 12%. So across the board, we're in a monstrous premium. So it is open to a pullback. However, with the 3 drives, I just will not short a 3 drives. It's just like a complete and utter line in the sand. It just won't happen. So but if you look at if you actually look at what's happened, you know, this is price going outside of a discount. So all of this here, you know, if you hop down onto your lower time frames, where you'll start finding entries, right, in alignment with the next level. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, so essentially, if you basically what we were trading all last week, we had exactly the same draw on liquidity last week. So 20,000 was our goal last week. So all we're doing is looking for pullbacks to then trade long. So all of our trades last week were trading in alignment with that, just trading up towards this target. Exactly the same. It hasn't changed, albeit it's not as attractive now because we're in a massive premium, but there are still ways to find an entry. So flat top's not wrong. So yeah, if we break down this PA from this morning, let's just do that very, very quickly. Okay, so this is our 3 drives out the back end, right? this is our OB. Okay, so this is our hidden order block. This is our order block out the back end, which is essentially becomes your propulsion block. Okay, so if you were trading it on this day, you've now got your 3 order blocks, high probability order block, first fair value gap. Right, there's your long. If you then come down into this, oh shit. There's on the 5. Right in here is balanced price range. Okay. Okay, so the thing with balanced price range is once it's tested, it shouldn't go through mean threshold. All right, so if you were trading this day, you know from red pillars will know what that is, but then you've now then got your BPR, tested BPR. It now should not go through mean threshold. All right, so trading in alignment with a schematic is very simple. You're just going to wait for your London dealing range. Okay, so this is different to X levels, but your low to your high during your London kill zone, which is inside the X level indicator, these kill zone delineations. You're just going to wait for price to come back into a discount, and then you're going to go and drive price higher to take out the London high. It's like a very classic simple trade. Simple trade, but framed off the basis that price should not violate this low because it is 50% of BPR after balanced price range had been tested here. So that would have given you your context for the highs this morning. So this morning, I basically waited for offset. Okay, there was an opportunity to short here using my 15-to-1 model. I personally didn't take it. So there's your sweep. There's your 1 minute Sibi, short it. I think Howard might have taken it today, last common, Ancestor inside red pill. But personally, because of the 3 drives, I just waited it for it to get back into, right, the order block out the back end, which is this order block right here. Okay, so the same principle is now just waiting for price to align with a higher time frame X level, which was fifth fair value to trade an entry. Okay, and then there's obviously things I teach inside of Red Pill in terms of how to dial in your trade at that POI. Okay, so that was the entry this morning. Trading it back first up into, there was a void inside this 5 minute Sibi, and then coming out to take out the flat top on the 1 minute. So where we are now is just sort of no man's land, right? I want to take price higher. I'm still bullish. I still want to come and drive out these highs. We've got a double divergence up on this high, right? So you see how ES is taking it out right here. And on this high, we have not yet taken it out on NQ. That being said, we have a divergence here. So I'd still anticipate ES come and drive out this high, to be fair. That's quite interesting, actually. Yeah, ES, I'll be keeping an eye on that high to be purged. Thank you. Where's that going to get us on that? Give us one more sweep, NQ. So what I'd like to see is this taken out in here. Which is this low. Essentially catch up on this low here. Keeping an eye on ES. ES not needing to take that low out. But I'd like to see NQ sweep that low first before we go again. That's personally what I'd like to see. It's not on the 3 drives. It's on. It's the mechanical TS. So it's my mechanical TS model. But 2x gets up to 19,429. That would be an area of interest for a short if we got up there today. Just on the pure principle alone that it's a Monday with no news. If we hadn't, but it'd be context supporting. So, if there was, and I'd only trade it for a pullback as well. But if there, can't get my words out. If there was context for or reasons as to why price would pull back from that level once we got there, then I would look at it. But it is an area of interest on the highs today. If we get up there. But there's nothing in here for me to short. You know, I'm bullish. I'm just not in, don't have any runners left. So if you're contemplating shorting, save yourself some money and heartache, and don't. Has anyone got any questions specific to X levels that they want answering? Now that I'm here on stream with you all. This song is awful, isn't it? Let's get rid of this one. Let's try the next one. Gis good reggae song. Gis it. So patience is always the name of the game, right? Patience. Wait for price to come to you. Harp on about this all the time. Wait for price to come to you. Not what you want to see in the market, right? Like the idea of pumping along out of here is just ludicrous, right? Even though I'm bullish, I still wouldn't do that, right? Wait for price to sweep liquidity. Wait for it to take internal range liquidity to then drive out external range liquidity. Why would you be taking a long after sweeping external range liquidity? There's reasons why you can do that. Okay, especially if you're trading second phase distribution inside of a market maker buy model, but we're not in that. So patience, wait for price to come to you. Right. Little risk disclaimer. The following video is for entertainment purposes only. Any views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the creator, producers, performers, staff, hosting, service, parent company, subsidiaries, associated entities, invocated daemons, or patron deities, less or greater, past, present, or future. Henceforth, these will be collectively referred to as the Fam Squad, and should not be taken seriously, alright? Any advice offered here is satirical and should not be acted upon by anyone. The Fam Squad is not responsible for any damages but her external damnation which might arise from failure to comply with the terms of this disclaimer. Right, I've said it all to you. Okay, so if you go ahead and lose your money, it's not my fault, alright? Giving you my bias, I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing, but I'm not pressing the buttons for you, alright? I just will not do that. Hell no. Go and sue somebody else. How was your weekend, my patient? Yeah, I watched McElroy do his thing yesterday, which was cool to see. Finally did it. Senora Bottle Job finally managed to cross the line. Couldn't believe he did that. I thought Rose was going to pip him in the end, but he managed to pull a rabbit out of the hat, which is good to see. That might be like the shackles off now, so he might go on an absolute rampage and just win everything like Tiger Woods did. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else watched it, but it was an amazing match, game, whatever you want to call it. It was awesome to see. Like literally on the first hole, he like dropped 2 shots. I was like, oh, here we go. You know, DeChambeau's getting all pumped up, and then DeChambeau, you know, couldn't hit a straight shot to save his life, so he buckled quite early. And then he just had all these sort of midfield players just come out of nowhere, like Rose and Aberg, and it went right down to the wire. So it went to a playoff hole between Rose and McIlroy. And yeah, McIlroy pipped it. He did really. He did. Well, I remember, when was it 2014, the last time he had like a really good chance? And he just absolutely like bottled it on the turn. So I think it was like hole 10. He just like lost like his complete nerve. Lost like a 6-point lead or something. Crazy. I think he ended up shooting like 8 over in the last 9 holes. So he held it. He got it all out of his system in the front 9, didn't he? And then I thought he was going to chuck it all away on like the 13th hole when he double bogeyed. I was like, here we go. History repeating itself. But no, he held it together. Yeah, definitely, for sure. It's got to be hard though, when everyone's calling you a bottle job, and then you start bottling it. You're like, oh god, I'm a bottle job. They're all right. It's got to be tough. It's got to be tough in the psychology, that. It's got to be tough. Oh. But yeah, I thought it was Easter this weekend, but it's Easter next weekend, isn't it? So it's a short week for me this week. I'm going away for a few days, not on holiday, but I'm just getting away for a bit. We're gonna go down and see some friends we've not seen in a while. So I'm only going to be here until Wednesday. So from Thursday onwards this week, I'm not around. It's a short week for me this week. After last week, absolute mental week. 16 grand banked last week. Phenomenal week. This week I'm just trading quite lightly. I just want to get through this week, and then it's Easter. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we've got Easter weekend. So yeah, gonna do some other stuff for a bit. Yeah, I know. Dude, the reason why is because I went to the shops and someone was like, oh, do you want to try this new Easter egg? And I was like, it was in M&S, and I was like, yeah, alright. So I just like chomped half a Easter egg. And then I was like, yeah, I was also thinking it was Easter that weekend. And it's not, it's obviously next weekend. So I've got like 6 Easter eggs that I just don't need right now. Saw me coming. That is what it is. Yeah, so it's one of those days where I just go completely off the wagon, because every other day I don't eat chocolate. I never eat chocolate because I've got like a major autoimmune disease where I can't eat certain things, and lactose in chocolate is one of them. So I generally don't eat them unless I've got like a few days where I can recover. So that's why I'm taking a few days off, so I can binge eat some chocolate and then recover by the next week. Yes, sir. I'm pretty sure 95% of Easter eggs now aren't Easter egg shaped. It's either. What are they coming up with now? Let's stick with an Oblerone. Toblerone. It's got to be the best chocolate on the planet, that. A Toblerone. Do you guys get Toblerones in America? Do you get a Toblerone? If you've never had a Toblerone before, oy, oy, oy. Treat yourself one day. If you've never had a Toblerone, treat yourself. What I love about it is it makes you fight for you. It makes you fight for that little triangle of chocolate, right? Because you got to snap it off, and that thing takes. You got to at least go for a gym for a week to get that piece off. So it makes you work for it. I like it. I respect it. You go for a dairy milk, just open up the wrapper, and there it is, right? Toblerone, you got to work for it. I'm all for that. That motherfucker's like, you ain't having a slab of this unless you work for it, boy. So I will end up lobbing the Toblerone at the floor or something. Come on, Enki, give us a pullback, brother. Give us one little pullback. You know you want it. Oh, hello. I didn't nobody mention that. Red pills. Assholes. So this is a failed M5 con. Got to be careful because it can also be an IFED, so don't short back to it's context why price will pull back. So all of this, I'll be utilizing this just to manage my trade if I was still in longs. Okay, so 3 OBs, middle, Sibby, and then your first order block. Sorry, your first 5-minute fair value gap. Inside of those OBs becomes a high probability fair value gap. So sweet. Descending from outer space to find another place. It is a failed M5 count. It's not a failed M5 count. What was I on there? 3 minute? Yeah, I was on 3 minute. Accident. It's just far too aggressive. If this is all in a discount, it'd be different. It's just far too aggressive. Like for example, that first 5 minute Bissy. 3 dry support, and you'd have to allow it to wick into this, wick down into this Sibi here though. Basically back down into a discount of the range between the 830 sweep and the high going into the open. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. Oh, things down. How many people do you think are trying to short this? How many people do you think just got absolutely murdered in here trying to short this? I would say a fair few. I'd say a fair few. Let's get this puppy back up. I'm descending from outer space to find another place. So that is ended up going off. Anyway, I hope that's given you a breakdown of this morning and the reason behind the trade this morning. Set you up for the day. How long we got to the open? 20 minutes. Anyone want a game of Kraken? 273 be my first POI here. Yeah, 2 seconds, guys. Let's do that. Ba 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 ba. Anyone already taken their trade this morning? Or who's sitting waiting patient? I'm on YouTube, dude. You need to click the link above in the chat. Yeah, I think you got to the screen a bit late, AP. Anyway, there's no bother with that. No problem with that. Sounds like the intro's like Teletubbies, huh? Next, what else we got on the old royalty-free playlist? What we got? If you listen to reggae, you don't want to go on music. There's something wrong with you. Okay, just want to be on a beach right now. Yep, this is the way forward, AP. It's good thinking, mate. The easy trade this morning was during London, back into OB out the back end of the 3 drives. That's the trade we took this morning. So this wick, that was our trade this morning, that range there. I don't have any runners left. I'm not chasing outside of a premium, so I'm not going to short the 3 drives. So there's literally nothing for me at the minute. If anyone's found value on this stream so far, they've learnt a smidgen, consider smashing a like. I forgot how YouTube works, it's been that long. We appreciate it. Gracias. Or get the fuck off this stream. Get off it. Go lose money elsewhere. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You go join someone else's stream who tells you to short. Go for it. Jog on. Good morning, mate. I took a short on gold H1 to M5 just after 8 AM. Let's have a look. Let's have a look Look at that little, let's have a look at that wee little chestnut. H1 to M5. My God. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Beautiful. Lovely stuff. Love it. Lovely stuff, mate. I'll be mindful of this high here because these, you didn't get back into the wick. It's likely to go and retest that high. But yeah, beautiful stuff. Well done. Really, really good. So H1 to M5 model. Target the 5-minute low, which is that low. So really well done, mate. Good stuff. Awesome. Just one of those. You know where price is going, but you can't chase it. This is how it is. Get comfortable with it. If you want to chase price, you're going to constantly be on that hamster wheel. That's entirely up to you. If you want to trade like that, that's cool. Be my guest, right? But when the train's left the station, wait for the next goddamn train. Metaphorically, it's exactly the same as that. You know when you see a train leave a station, you've just missed it. And then you see that twat trying to run after the train because he thinks the door's going to open. Like, when has that ever happened ever in fucking history that a train stops, opens up a door, and then lets you in? Yet there'll always be some knobhead who will run after that train, right? And then he'll be like, oh, God damn it, I missed it. Mate, I could have told you that 2 minutes ago. Right? It's exactly the same with trading. How many absolute twats do you get who just price leaves like, oh yeah, I gotta chase it. I gotta get chased, right? And then they jump in the tracks, they get electrocuted, and then price and then it still drives on, and oh god damn it, right? Electrocution is essentially they get wicked out, price sweeps them. Exactly the same. I know where price is going, but it doesn't necessarily mean I need to jump into it, right? Wait for a high probability to set up. Price comes to me. I don't go to price. It's how I work. Okay, so my entry this morning down here, and I've scaled out, terminated up into this high. Okay, the way that I look at it is this. I should have, or could have, still had runners holding for expansion. I don't, so that is on me, right? But I had reasons as to why I wanted just to terminate here. None more so than it's a Monday with no news. None more so than we still had that void and I was anticipating one more sweep going into the open. So taking this trade this morning, I'm okay with that because that is what I came up with in terms of the trade at that time. In terms of managing my risk, managing my expectations with it being a Monday no news. In hindsight, which is 2020, it's beautiful. I could have held runners, but I didn't. So what I'm not going to do, absolutely categorically, is now that price is distributed and it's still going en route to my target, get pissed off that I'm not still in this trade, try and lump in longs in here, and then price at the open wicks me, and I've just given back all my gains. That is retarded. It is literally what every 95% of trader does. Right? If that train goes and I'm not still in it, I wait for the next trade. It's that simple. Right? Not every opportunity is a trading idea. Is an opportunity to trade. Not every opportunity. Like the 15 to 1 this morning. Did I see a 15 to 1 this morning? Yes. Did I say that this high, for those inside Red Pill, did I say that this high had to hold for us to short? Yes. It's a 15 to 1 model and this mitigated this range on this high, right? So boom, boom, mitigation. Okay, so 50% is mitigation. Okay, I didn't take that trade because I'm bullish. So I waited for price to get down into my entry to go long. Could I have taken that trade? Sure. But it's an example where you don't have to take every single trade. You just don't have to do it. And I've said this numerous times, there's actually way more strength in seeing a trade opportunity and not taking it. Honestly, if you can get into that realm where you can see a trade opportunity, yet it isn't high probability and it goes against your directional bias, holy shit, you've just entered into a whole new realm of trading. And this is a prime example of that. I am bullish on the day. If you've read my daily plan that I wrote this morning at 4 a.m. UTC, we were looking at exactly this entry to go long, and exactly this entry on the low. You don't believe me? Look at the daily plan for today, right? This daily plan. 20,000 to draw, 3 drives on the low. This is where we're looking to go long. Okay, that's my daily plan. I want to trade in alignment with my daily plan, not against it. So yes, I can see there's a 15 to 1 on the high, but this is where I want to be long on the day. Right at fair value on the 15 inside the OB out the back end of the 3 drives model. That's where I want to be long. So I don't need to short this. Right, because there's every opportunity that this rejects the 15 to 1, delivers to my target, then plummets. And then I'm sat here going, well, why on earth did I trade this short when I knew I was inside of 3 drives? So not every opportunity is a trade idea, even though you see it, right? You've got to have a plan, you've got to have a bias, you've got to know where price is going, and then you trade in alignment with that. If you are wrong, you move to the sidelines, and you always give yourself 2 opportunities at a trade idea. If they're both wrong, move to the sidelines. Wait for a new session. You've got 1 more trade opportunity. If that's red, you've got 3 red trades in a day. You stop trading. You're offside. All right. If that's green, you can keep trading until you hit 3 red trades in a day. It's very, very simple. Very simple. That is what will keep you on the straight and narrow. Not just because you see an order block with a fair value gap, you trade it short. Right. So the way I'm looking at this is now is like, yeah, I know exactly where price is going, but I don't have an entry. Okay, I'm fine with that. No problem. No problem at all. This is just going to rip up to 1x. My trader journey, aren't you happy you didn't short the H1 to M5 on the high now, huh? I hope that gives you, if you're still here, trader journey, I hope you understand why. That's the important bit. Why? The why is the most important bit. Why is price going to hold a low? So every time I take a trade, there's 3 steps. Why is price going to respect that low? Okay. Order block out the back end of my 3 drives, high time frame, fair value. Okay, I've got context for it. Inside my mechanical bullish TS model. Okay, anticipating price to come and drive out the highs. Also be looking for us to get up to 20,000 for this week. Okay, I've got reason for why this low is going to hold, right? Why have I got context why price is going to drive out the high? Step 2. Okay, what context do I have why price is going to drive out the high? Okay, well, we had a void up here. We had a flat top on the high. Also, I'm bullish. We had a divergence up on this high with ES taking out this high. And I'm macro bullish. So, obviously, anticipating NQ to go play catch up. All right. Do I have a model, step 3, to get in alignment with that? Yes, my 3 drives model. Okay, so you've now got context for why price is going to hold that low, why it's going to drive the high, and you have your model. That is a trade. All right, but if you're purely taking it on the principle of this looks like an order block, you got so much to fucking learn. It's unbelievable. All right, it's not difficult. You will get there. So if I'm trading in here, right, and you're going, oh, why don't I just pile in on this order block? Well, what's your buck stop? What is stopping price running through that low? Jack shit, nothing, right? What is stopping price running through that low? Nothing. There isn't a high probability. Yes, you've got reasons as to why price can drive out the high, but there's absolutely nothing stopping price wicking out these lows back down into a discount. Right? There's no buck stop. There is no reason as to why that low is going to hold. So you can't trade it. It's that simple. You just let it go. Bum, 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 bum. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. Bum, 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 bum. Yes. I'm descending from outer space. You got a breaker block here, but it's so far in a premium. I just don't want to trade it. Not on a Monday, no news, but. So we're gonna deliver up. That would be the most aggressive entry long. Basically to get it up to 1x, so 271. Basically looking to get it up to 271. I'm descending from outer space. to find another place. It's not even as good as that, is it? Let's keep an eye on ES here. So ES on a bit of a curve. Let's sweep out that low. I'm descending from outer space. I'm descending from outer space. Got double divergence on this low. We want to see this low go at least. 842 low. I'm descending from outer space to find another place. I'm descending. We'll see ES take out this void at a minimum. It's just down at 5438. Bum, 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 bum. We'll see ES tag that void. Basically, just gonna wait to see where NQ is when ES takes that void. If you got in early, just be careful here at 80. If you got in early. There's a premium side here, 80.50. Just be careful. Right here. What I don't like about it, how ES hadn't tagged that void. So with a H1 to M5, you always want to pay yourself inside of a 5-minute premium. Hold runners. So again, same principle. So if you are long inside of here, you want to make sure you're paying yourself inside of here. If you are trading in line with what we've been talking about all morning, right? Holding to come and take out these highs, but you want to be paying yourself inside of here. So it's where an H1 to M5 can fail back inside the 5-minute premium. So right here, make sure you're paying yourself. Like if you've been on the stream this morning, you've known where I wanted to be long, right? You don't need me to tell you I'm pressing a button. So make sure you're paying yourself inside of here. ES is still not tagged that void, which I'm still mindful of. So please make sure you're paying. It's also a Monday with no news, right? So they could leave it until later. So just make sure you're paying yourself. I can't stress it enough. It's a Monday with no news. Pay yourself. I still personally want to see. I personally still want to see 1x tagged, which is all up at 19,272. How do we get up there today? Jury's out, but that's what I'd like to see today. And potentially beyond, up to 431 potentially. Anybody managed to capture this long? Anybody? We've been talking about it all morning. Anybody in the long? Who got in the long? Who's Bilbo bagged this morning? Gives a yes, gives a W in stream. You know what to do. Should be just runners from here. Right? It's just been runners. You just got to be mindful, right? We've still got this void on the low on ES. I am mindful of that. Okay, so it's not like it's absolutely like slam dunk, right? And it's also a Monday with no news. So price can still come and sweep out these lows. So with an H1 to M5, you put yourself inside of a 5-minute premium. That's where it can fail. That's a 5-minute premium. All right. This here, this is getting into a 5-minute premium. So this is where you pay yourself because that's where it can fail, right? And as we've still got the void on well, it's so annoying how it does this now. If you actually still got the void on the low with the ES, you've got to be mindful that price can still wick lower, right? So just be mindful of that, right? So trade accordingly. All right, this is still a 60, 70, 80 odd point trade, right? Just that alone, all right? Don't be greedy. If you actually look, so over here, if you're wondering what this is, over here, this is a widget on the 1 minute. So that's measuring that 1 minute dealing range, right? So from this high to this low. Okay, so essentially we're going discount on the 1 minute into a premium on the 1 minute, right? This is what's happened here, right? So right into a 1 minute premium, right? Which also aligns with being in a 5 minute premium, all right? There's your trigger on the low. So this is now what I'd not want to see broken. So if you're trailing your runners, I wouldn't want to see below this low. So you can put your runners below that low now. So it either go and delivers to target or it stops you out now, right? Just make sure you're scaling out en route. Just T-Maths and time to shine. For real? This is a random tune. Next. Andy as well. Hello. Now we're cooking. Oh, cooking on gas. See, all you gotta do now is just sit in your trade. That's all you gotta do. You've done the hard work. You've got your entry. Yeah, you just let the thing run. Happy days. Trading in alignment with the 3 drives. Waited for price to come to us. Right? Not forcing our will onto what we want price to do. We wait for price to come to us. We wait for it to come to us. Right? Mr. Market. Right? You play our game. We don't play yours. Get used to it. Guys, if you printed with me on stream today, consider smashing a like. 6 likes seems a little bit harsh. I'm not going to lie. Seems a little bit harsh. Ooh, friends.